In this video, we're going to talk about evaluating functions numerically, that is to say, by the data or the ordered pairs. Typically, when we do things numerically, we are given a list of ordered pairs like we see here, or a table of values, as we'll see in the next example. And we're really just doing the same thing. You know, if you understand that function notation and ordered pair notation are the same thing, then this is really pretty straightforward. So what I have here is example number 1. I've given you f is defined by the following ordered pairs. G is defined by the following ordered pairs. And here I just say find f of -2. Now, as per our last video, we know that this is really the same thing as y equals f of x, which is directly related to the ordered pair x comma y. So in this case, we have y is equal to f of -2, which means that the x value is -2, and we want to know what the y value is. That's what we're looking for here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to f, and we're going to find the ordered pair that has an x value of -2. Bang, there it is. And what we want is the corresponding y value that goes with x equals -2. So, again, x equals -2. That corresponds there. Oops, I don't want to clutter up my work here. There it is. And it looks like the y value that goes with that is 0. There it is. That's our answer. It's that easy. You just really have to learn how to read the notation in this section function. And that in this section, folks. I think I'm having a stroke, buddy. Anyway, what I'm getting at is students who have a hard time in this section just sort of don't spend any time learning the notation. So, what's g of 2? Well, again, the x value is 2, and this is for the g function. So, oops, I don't want to use that color. We already used that color. This is for the g function. So we want to go find out where g is 2, for x is 2, for g, excuse me. And we want the y value that goes with it. And in this case, that turns out to be 3. There we go. And then we have something a little bit different here. F of 1 plus g of 1. Well, that is the following. Let's see. That's going to be equal to, for f of 1, let's get our color coding out here. For f of 1, that's the x value for f. And it looks like the y value that goes with that is 2. I'm going to run out of color coding here really quick. Let's see. And then for g of 1, that's the x value for g. And it looks like that's got a y value of 5. So we'll be adding 5 here. More color coding. What do we got left? There we go. And there it is. And so our result here is 7. Pretty straightforward. Okay. Now we got basically the same questions. Same type of questions, I should say. But the information here is a little bit different. So let's talk about how we read this information. It's really the same information. It's really ordered pair notation. That is to say, you can think of this as being the ordered pair 4, 3 for f. And let's see. If this is 3 and this is 0, this is the ordered pair 3, 0 for g. And so we're really just reading these columns as input. The first column is the input for both functions, And the second and third column are the outputs for F and G respectively when we have a certain input. So if you plug 0 into F, you get 0. But if you plug 0 into G, you get 3. So here we go. F of negative 1 is our first question. And let's see, F of negative 1 is going to be 8. So that's equal to 8. G of 0 we just talked about. Let's see. If we take the x value and we plug it in for G, we get G of 0 is equal to 3. So there it is. Now for this last one, F of negative 1 times G of negative 1, we already know what F of negative 1 is. That is 8, and G, so 8, and G of negative 1 is 4, and the answer here is 32. That wasn't so bad. In fact, out of all the sections we've been studying lately, this might be the most straightforward. But you do got to master that notation and learn how to read tables of values and understand that we're talking about really ordered pairs here with new notation.